Welcome back, everybody. David Feldman-Makrias back again. And in my last video, I talked about the number one report in Google Analytics 4 that car dealers, car dealer personnel, managers, owners, the lot, need to start looking at first. It's the most important report, and it is the conversion report, or now may in the future known as the key event reports. Your events and conversions, which will be futurely known as key events, are the most important action items on your website. They directly lead to car sales. How? Because it's all the stuff that happens before that. They fill out finance forms, they fill out form submissions, they fill out trade-in forms, they fill out click-to-calls, they fill out chats, all that good stuff, right? So now in this video, what we're going to do is showcase how exactly we can view this information, because this information is great, but how do we figure out exactly which ads are working? That's what the point of this video is. Let's get to it right now. So in a sample dealer, have everything blurred out for anonymity, blah, 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 that word. So I'm going to come down to event name, and I see this little plus here, but let me start at the top. You see conversions event, you got your date range up here, you got a little bar graph that's going to the side here, we have a line graph down here we can look at and interpret the day any which way, and then when we go further down, we can actually see what all the events are, how many conversions they're tracking. Again, event and conversion are not the same thing. They are very, very similar. A conversion is an event, but an event is not a conversion. Let me do that again. A conversion is an event, but an event is not a conversion. And to confuse matters even more, in the next very, very soon amount of time, conversions are going to be labeled as key events, which actually makes more sense. So you have events and key events, but for this purpose, what we're looking at now, it's all conversions. So don't be confused if it says event over here and conversion over here. Conversions are events, but events are not necessarily conversions. So right now I'm looking at just 7 conversions. We have finance start, trade-in start, click to call, chat start, contact us, lead form, print service coupon. I can further interpret nomenclature and all that good stuff, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I just want to show you how you figure out which advertising source is working the best. Couple criteria here. The advertising sources that you're looking at have to be feeding into the website. If you have a newspaper ad or TV or what have you, you're not necessarily going to see tracking here. This is only trackable items to the website. But the website's a damn good place to start, right? So with that, I mean, TV and other forms of traditional advertising that don't have exact correlation can be interpreted through sources like direct or Google organic source medium. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to break it up this way. So watch what I'm about to do. I am going to click the plus here. I am going to type in source. It's going to give me a bunch of options. Don't worry about all the options. We're going to use this option first, and I'm going to explain why. We are going to scroll to first user source medium. And when I click this button, this is going to break out all of my events by advertising source medium. And here we go. Now, notice this is all I had 7 here before. Now I have 82 rows because each source of advertising brings in a certain amount of events. You'll see Google CPC indicated here a few times, and that indicates, Google Ads. Google CPC means Google Ads, first of all. And your paid Google Ads, at least in this report, drove in 100 event finance starts. Google Ads drove in 78 tracked trade-in starts and 71 click-to-calls. And if I keep going down, I'll see even more. But Google Ads, I mean, it makes sense. It's the top source of advertising for the specific dealer in question. So it makes sense for that to be at the top. But see, now we can take a look at it and say, oh my gosh, how many conversions am I getting from each source. And what you can do further, if I wanted to see all the Google Ads conversions, I can type in this filter here. I can look at Google CPC. Now I'm only looking at Google CPC. Before, I had direct in here, I had local organic, I had Google organic, some other stuff. I'm going to only look up Google CPC. And in Google CPC, I went from that other number, 700 plus, to 322. So this tells me in the last 30 days, with the proper tracking, leading all the traffic to my website, I have tracked 322 important, actionable items from my Google Ads campaigns. That's what that means. So now we can start to evaluate exactly what's happening. Couple caveats. Just because it's not trackable doesn't mean it doesn't work. However, you should saturate the bottom of the funnel first and move your way up. I have so many videos talking about this subject. There's so many things we can discuss about it. It's the truth. Everyone gets stuck on tracking. Oh, that didn't sell me a car, cut it. Oh, that didn't get me a lead, cut it. You can do that. It's a little bit dangerous though. I would recommend you saturate the bottom of the funnel first, meaning you get enough spend and you scale properly where you get an increased amount of actual business. Okay. It's pretty cool. As an instance, we see 100 finance starts. Well, the next logical thing before I even would mention scale at any point was, okay, we got 100 people to click event finance start, whatever that means, apply for financing in my last example. Did we get 100 finance submissions or over 100 technically, because this is only from Google Ads? Probably not. Well, why not? Once you address that problem, then you can understand exactly how your site can convert better, and even without upping your advertising budget or doing anything with your advertising budget. Once you understand this, then you can move to the next piece and go, wait a minute. My finance form, it shows 100 conversions here. But did I get 100 applications just from Google Ads? Wait a minute. No, I only got 30 applications all month. Wait a minute. Time out. Something wrong. Then we go to that item. And then we start to see, without changing ad copy, without getting your agency involved, without all this stuff, you get to see, wait a minute. Okay. Where can I fine tune the system to make it better? How can I get more for my advertising spend and actually sell more cars? This is where the nitty-gritty work starts. This is where my team flourishes. Unfortunately, there's just so many competitors in the automotive marketing space, but very, 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 very few, if any, are paying attention to the right things. We have to. We pay attention to the right things. Not only do we do that, we teach you too. If you want to know. If you don't want to know, that's fine. But I think it's important that key stakeholders have a knowledge of what's happening so they can talk articulately about what's going on. If you're not doing this right now, or you don't have this sort of tracking, you need to. Even if you have another source of tracking too. Oh, I look at the back end of my website. Okay. Oh, I look at Clarivoy. Oh, I look at other items that tells me all this tracking. I don't need that. I would disagree. Google Analytics is one of the standardized website analytics tracking tools, and it's important to have that as a benchmark. Google has some of the most amount of data on people of any platform in the history of mankind, just based off of all their properties. I've talked about that too. And Google's the lowest part of the marketing funnel, in my opinion, because it's very search intent based. So with all those key steps, it's very, very important to have your analytics up to date, even if you have other marketing platforms that analyze traffic and say follow their cookies and all this different stuff. It's very, very important. You can benchmark against your peers. You can benchmark against the market. You can actually understand and leverage Google's analytics data for your advertising. That's the biggest one. I'm going to have to make more videos just about that topic. But again, this is only to see what source of advertising is leading to the most amount of conversions. And that's going to begin to paint the picture of which advertising source is working and actually selling you more amount of cars. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm very, very excited to be able to share this information with you. My team looks at this constantly, every single day. We test conversions. We understand nomenclature. I'm going to make more videos about nomenclature because it's such a big deal, and testing conversions, because then you can understand, wait a minute, do we know if this actually works right? We assume it does, but does it? Like, that's where we get into the nitty gritty. And all of these small details mounted up and added up over time, that's what makes the difference. That's what makes the big difference and allows car dealers to actually sell more cars. It allows other companies that I service too. I'm just focusing on car dealers in this example, but it allows other companies to actually sell more too, or get whatever they want. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm really happy to make this content. It fires me up. Thank you guys. David Feldman-Makrias, and I'll see you next time.